Okay. And yes, now the mic is working. Ready to smack my computer on that one. But I'm here to talk about a couple of groups that right now are going at each other's throats. And that is specifically the Service Dog Free Press and the Service Dog Shitlist, of all places. I want to start by saying there's a lot going on about Shitlist. Not everybody in there is evil. Yeah, there are some that are just your special ones that they like to start trouble. And they go in there to do that, just specifically to start trouble. That's all they do. Majority of people have them blocked. As for Service Dog Free Press, they spread trouble. They don't care. And there's a lot of people going around, well, people don't need to be such special snowflakes. Oh, God, I've seen that a lot in the group. People don't need to be such special snowflakes. We should be able to say whatever we want without them getting offended, without anybody taking any form of offense at it. You know, it's up to you to manage your own mental health. I actually saw that comment. It's up to the person to manage their own mental health. Well, let me ask you this. Are you going to go into a veteran's home and start setting off firecrackers all over the place? That might be funny to do to one of your friends. I've seen a lot of prank videos out there, and, you know, there's people that do that. And for them, you know, okay, do it to your friends, but you wouldn't go into some random vet's home to do that. Why? Because it's going to set off their mental health issues. And if you know that they have those issues, then you're just an asshole to do that. Now, there's a lot of people that have been attacked by both of these groups, both the Service Dog Free Press and the guy who runs it, who is a veteran himself, who should know better than to be doing this shit, and also by Shitlist. And what's happened is there have been people who have come close to suicide, like me. I was attacked by Service Dog Mimis a while back. It's another group that's it's pretty much just a hate group on Facebook. It's they disguise it, they'll play all nice, and then they'll go and attack somebody, say, oh, this is a fake, this, that, when they don't even know, they haven't researched it, they haven't looked into it. Somebody does provide them with evidence of a fake, and they're like, oh, you're not one of our special people, so, you know, we're not going to listen to you. Yeah, this is one of the ramblings. You're going to see this a lot in my videos, where I ramble and then I derail myself and then I have problems getting back onto topic. That is actually a part of the fibromyalgia, which somebody in my last video made the wonderful comment of get off the drugs because of that. It's like, when you do that, you know what you look like? You look like a dipshit. That's like going up to somebody who is having a seizure, okay, and saying, well, you're just doing that for attention. Oh, aren't you just a special little snowflake that needs all the attention right now? No. Dude, you don't want to listen? You don't want to hear what I'm saying? Give me a thumbs down, run away. I don't care. I saw that. I was on the phone with somebody else video chatting when I saw that. I started laughing. I absolutely just started laughing. You want to know why? Because I've been through it enough. My childhood sucked. Okay, and I've been through all of that, and because of that, I just don't care anymore. I have gotten to the point where I just don't care. And yes, these groups can provide a lot of hate. As somebody who's been at the receiving end of it, let me tell you what can happen. Now, the moderators will say, oh, but, you know, it's okay, because we don't tell them to go out and do that. Well, it doesn't matter. You're providing the environment, and you know you're providing the environment. So what happens when you provide this environment is you encourage mob mentality. Mob mentality is when you no longer think as an individual, but you think as the mob conscious. You hear something, you don't bother to go and look at it. You don't bother to think, could this be something that's personal that's going on? Is this somebody's personal opinion, or is it fact? And when you do that, you get into this mindset where we as the people need to punish this person. And you end up punishing somebody who's innocent. Like the person who decided to have issues with me on Mimi's. She spread rumors that my dog was dead and stuff like that. Coda, the one that you've seen the videos of. According to her, he died 3 years ago because I beat him to death. I've never raised a hand to my dog. That is not how I work. None of my dogs, you can tell they're all so terrified of me. This is me beating them to death. Roll over, gimme kissy. And when she started doing this, somebody else, I still think it's her, she swears it wasn't her, ended up posting my face, my phone number, my address, all of this up on Craigslist, including the information of me beating my dog to death. The live dog. And people were buying this. People bought into it. I got attacked. Several of my friends got attacked. And it did push me to a point where I attempted to take my own life. That's one of the other reasons I started a new channel is I just couldn't be on that old channel anymore. During the time that all that was going on, I was doing another video. I was editing it about things that service dog handlers say to each other that it's just bizarre. We treat each other worse than any other minority group out there. We really do. Can't we all just get along? We're bad. We are really bad. And yes, I do a lot of hand movements. That's me. I've always been like that, so deal with it. I actually did try to commit suicide. I tried to take my life. It's not a fond memory. It still gets me a bit worked up. It's really hard to think of because I was getting just horrible phone calls. I was getting people who said that they knew where I lived and they were going to come and shoot me. It was just on all of this because there's a person in my area that I got eyeliner on. I'm trying not to bowl. But she'll go out with like 6 dogs at a time. I wish I was joking. She's even been kicked off of the buses because of the behavior of her dog and everything else. And this woman's horrid. Everybody in the area knows her. But a lot of stores are afraid to say anything because she pulls out, oh, it's a service dog. I need it. I have the medical necessity for it. But then she'll actually admit later, oh, I don't actually need the dog. The dog's not trained for anything. Like her one dog, she openly admitted had, sorry, I'm twitching because I'm upset now. But it had aggression issues and it had tried to bite people. It had lunged at my dog before, which she then tried to claim my dog was lunging at hers, which anybody who's actually met Coda will tell you that's not the case. This dumb dog of mine, Coda, well, I shouldn't say he's dumb. He's learned incredible amounts in a very short period of time when I first got him, and he's brilliant, but he does not know how to defend himself for anything. This dog could not fight his way out of the wet paper bag. We were out at the fishing docks one day, and this other dog is out there, and I'm like, is your dog friendly? Oh, yeah, we're good. Never had a problem. We're good. I start walking up, Coda's staying right by my side. That's when, as we're going by this other dog, it jolts to the end of its leash, lunges, gets Coda around the neck. I drop my stuff, my gear's going in the water. This other person's dropping her stuff. We're pulling the dog's jaws open to get Coda's neck out of its mouth. What does Coda do? He goes into a play bow. That's his idea of defending himself, and it's not even the first time he's done it. On his page, I've posted pictures in the past, really nasty single bite wound through the back of the leg that a fake gave him in a store. And even then, he doesn't play about. This dog cannot defend himself if his life depended on it. But yet, she had people believing that I do nothing but raise aggressive dogs, that this dog is so violent, he's a danger to society, that her life flashed before her eyes. And because of this, all these people, that plus accusing me of abuse, all these people were going at me left and right. Obviously, I did not succeed in my suicide attempt, and that is something that I am happy about. It's a bittersweet memory. But for those who say, well, you know, special snowflakes and everything else, no, we're not special snowflakes. None of us are. All we are is saying, have some respect for your fellow man. You're not going to do that to a veteran. You're not going to do that to a cop. You're not going to do that to your neighbor. So why do you feel it's okay to do that to a stranger you've never met? Oh, you're grumpy. Old retired boy. But, you know, if you wouldn't do it to somebody else that you know, if you wouldn't do it face to face to someone, don't do it over the net. And as for the people, they're like, oh, God, they know where I live. They know this, they know that, and they know that. Oh, they're sharing all my personal information back and forth. Why? If it's something that you don't want shared, why do you share it? I've even had fights with my sister online, bad fights. In fact, she got me blocked for like 48 hours because of a fight because she claimed I was harassing her. Of course, Facebook turned it around real fast after I actually showed them all the evidence and said, oh, sorry, we shouldn't have blocked you. We're going to keep her from being able to make any more reports against you. We're just going to ignore her and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, I actually got a formal apology for being blocked because I wasn't harassing anyone. Although it was claimed, oh, you're harassing me, you're being this, you're being that, you're being nasty, you're being mean. I had friends who were mutual friends who asked about what was going on with the fight, and all I did was share the messages she had sent me. That was it. And that was enough for her to say, well, you're being mean, you're being nasty, how could you say these things about me? I didn't say a damn thing. I shared the messages. And and yeah, if you don't want it shared, you shouldn't be putting it online. That is a huge thing. And that's just basic internet safety. And that's something that can be very hard for a lot of people who are in these service dog groups and stuff like that because everybody has a different disabilities. No two people are the same. And for some people, they're used to just talking about whatever. They don't care. So, you know, oh, my stools were weird colors, so I'm going to post that. Yes, I've seen that. I've seen people talking about their stools, and I'm like, And for others, that was fine. Me, I wasn't too comfortable with that, so I just left that conversation. That's me. Also, you don't know who in these service dog groups is an abuse victim. And this can be a major trigger. Like me, I am a rape abuse victim. I am open about that. I am very forward. And during a fight with somebody else, and which is how I even ended up in Shitlist to begin with. I was not a member. But somebody decided to go onto my personal page and say, well, I'm calling you out on Shitlist. You better get over here. You better do this. You better do that. And I was so triggered because we were in the middle of a very, very personal, very emotional issue at the time. It was two friends fighting. There were other friends getting involved. I ended up, my cat was getting into trouble and got yelled at. ended up going over there just because I was on autopilot. And I joined and I tried to defend myself. Well, this person was the boyfriend of somebody who stopped being a friend that day. And she shared with them. I don't know if they've heard me say it before or not, but or if she shared with them or what, but that I'm a rape abuse survivor. So this person in Shitlist started using sexual tones with his insults, personally targeting me. And that's the type of stuff that people are pissed about. That is highly inappropriate. That is, I don't care who you are, that is beyond inappropriate. Should Free Press be handling it this way? No. No, absolutely not. The way Free Press is handling it right now, they are as big of a bully as the people that were doing that in Shitlist. Shitlist had a major clearing. They brought it down to, I think, 100 members. Unfortunately, and I know this video will probably get me kicked out of there. I don't care if it does or not, because the only reason I joined is because I got called out. The people that were doing that, the two people specifically who the entire internet, because of their big mouths, know about some very disgusting medical issues that I'm just not. Oh, when I heard it, I gagged. But they've even shared screenshots about these two talking about it. It's just nasty. But where was I? That's fibrofog. Isn't fibrofog wonderful? Ever-changing conversation. But yeah, they've left people like that in there. People that have personally targeted others. And that is something that's inappropriate, and the person running the group has done that because, well, they're her personal friends. Well, then you got to manage your personal friends. Because when they're getting to the point of giving other people complexes because of their behavior, because of everything that's going on, then you've caused an issue. You've caused a problem that you obviously don't care about because you're making no attempt to fix whatsoever. Oh, I have one viewer according to this. I can't see if they're actually saying anything. I need to get a better live thing. But I got one viewer. So let's see here. Where was I? Another person's comment. Last video, you're talking about my crazies, everything else. Just so you know, I'm okay with my crazy. I've made peace with it. Me and my inner demon cuddle every night. We enjoy each other's company. We play checkers. I will checker you. But yeah, the bullying, and it's not even just those two groups. Those are just the two that are in the headlines right now. Those are the two that everybody is talking about. There are other groups that do the same thing. Like Fuckery No Fucks Given, or something like that. I can't remember the exact, but, you know, it's another one that I was getting yelled at. I was getting called out, so I ended up joining because of that. And that group likes to go after Shitlist, saying, well, you're horrible for doing this, but they do the same thing. The only difference is in fuckery, if somebody's calling somebody else out, they won't let the other person in to defend themselves, where a Shitlist will. So it's like picking which evil is better. It's like the last presidential election. Do I want the asshole over here or the twat nugget over here? Neither side is right. Neither side is good. A lot of us had that feeling during the election. If you liked one or the other, all the more power to you. That's great for you. Just my opinion is kind of different. Coffee. I drink a lot of coffee. Itch. But in future videos, what would you guys like to talk about? What would you guys like to hear me go on about, whether it's a rant, a rave, anything else? Let me know. If you're looking for some really good CBD products, there's a site out there called naturalhealthycbd.com. I think that's it. I'll look it up and edit the drop down in a little bit. But you go on there and you use the code at checkout, KODA10. CODA 10. You'll actually get 10% off of your purchase, which is a great thing, great little bonus thing. They're kind of sponsoring me a little bit in these, even though I don't really have the viewers, which I think is really awesome. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for doing that. I never expected that with just not having the viewers. That's a big thing. And again, if you're on the net, if you're on Facebook, if it's something you don't want others know, just don't tell them. Not even in a private message, because nothing is private this day and age anymore. If this is the Service Dog Free Press watching and getting pissed, I'm sorry, you should know better. You're a vet yourself. You should know about PTSD, and you should know about triggering people and harassing them and coming to conclusions and things like that. Your training should have taught you better than that. I have veterans in my family from all branches of service. None of them would even consider behaving in the way you are. It is disrespectful. It is disgraceful. If the moderators from Shitlist are watching this and getting upset, it's truth. You guys know that those problems are in there. You know you have people who are intentionally using the group to harass others. That's how I ended up in the group, is I was being harassed. And you just let the wolves attack. You did nothing. You did not stop it, even when the one was going into the sexual innuendo, insults, and everything else. You did nothing to stop that, even though you say we don't allow this. And the reason you didn't is you didn't like one of my friends, so you judged me based on that. Without even knowing me, you decided I had to be attacked and that there was nothing to be done about that, that everybody had the right to do it simply because you did not like one of my friends. And you wanted to attack my friend, but she was not willing to come in there and be attacked. So, and that is a hard truth. That is something you actually did. That's not hearsay. That's not, oh, that's just your point of view. That is something you did. That is the fact of the situation. Other groups are having the same issue. I say if you want to get away from that, one place you can go, if you really want to connect with others that have service dogs and stuff like that, is look for spoonie groups. Spoonies tend to be a lot calmer, a lot more gentle. They understand what it's like to have to go through hard times and stuff like that, because they are actually going through them. You're not going to have a lot of conversation in them, because the majority of us that fall into the spoonie category, it takes a lot of energy for us to do just about every day-to-day thing, and there's some days we just don't talk at all. We're just too tired, we're too sore, we can't do it. Even going on Facebook is a chore sometimes because of it, and especially with all the negativity that's on there right now. And nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about trying to fix that. Well, it starts with each and every one of us. You want to see a change, you make a change. You don't say, oh, it's horrible what they did to me, I'm so upset. This person was so mean. No, you make the change. If you have to, report them. Talk to a close friend about it. Let somebody know what's going on. As for the mob mentality that's been going on, a lot, stop being a sheeple. research your own facts, find out what's going on, and determine, is this worth my time? Is this worth me getting involved? Because there's a good chance it's not. After you actually do the research, 99% of the things people are flipping out about do not need to be. I don't know how many times I've seen pictures of people's dogs where it's a bad angle, and there are service dog handlers, oh my God, that dog is huge, it's fat, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. And they literally attack this person. They rip them apart. And then they see a different angle, same exact dog. 2 days later, this dog's too skinny. All because of angles of pictures. That is the most common that I see, is the weight of the dog. And yes, that is a concern. You know, you shouldn't be working a dog that's not healthy, but also it needs to be handled in a more gentle way. If you go in guns blazing and you're like, you can't do this, oh my God, what are you thinking? Bad you, bad, spank. Ooh, that almost got kinky. Yeah, the person's going to dig their heels in. They're going to hate you for it. I mean, good God, I hate myself for even talking like that. But if you say, you know, has anybody talked to you about your dog's weight? I'm not trying to insult you or anything. I know that it might be a little bit of a tough topic because people can be kind of harsh about it. Do you want suggestions on how you could help him or her to lose some weight? You actually do get responses. I do that with people. And I've made a lot of friends just by talking, being polite, seeing what people may or may not need, and just treating them like a human being. It's not that hard. It's not a difficult thing to do. It's like the whole race card issue. It's, you know, are you black, white, or Asian? Human? Well, what race are you? Human. No, I want to know if you're black. So if I come from a different part of the country, I'm not human. I have to use that nomicker. If I come from Asia, I have to use the nomicker Asian instead of human? No. Again, that's not how this works. And yes, I know the person who commented before that you love that commercial. I love those. They're so funny. But your cultural identity is not your race. It is not. That's just a cultural identity. It's not a race. You are still human. To be a different race, you have to have some form of different genetics and just not be able to breed with anybody else in it. If you can have a baby with it, then it's the same race as you, okay? Like, look at dogs. There's dogs. That is the race. Then you have breeds, which would be like ethnics. You know, what's your ethnic category? German Shepherd, Akita, Malamute, Husky, Border Collie, whatever. That's the ethnicity. But that's not a race. The race is dog. Just like we're human. We have different ethnicities, but we're still human. And we have to learn to start treating each other like that. We cannot be at each other's throats the way we have been, especially inside the service dog community. And this is not the first time I've said this. The more we're at each other's throats, the more shit like the free press and the Shitlist is going on, and memes and fuckery and all that, the more we're just going to continue to rip each other apart. Because the more we're going to be more concerned about what our neighbor's doing rather than improving ourselves, improving our lives, improving our relationships with the world. And I don't care if anybody doesn't like hearing that. I don't care if there are people come on here and, well, you know, my ethnicity is my race or anything like that. I don't care. You're still human. And I will treat you with the respect I treat every other human being. Yeah, I'm crude. I'm rude. But I'm polite. Usually. I have my moments. Yeah, I have a lot of them. But that's all I can think of to say for now. I hope everybody has a good time, a good night. I hope that you find something to hold on to that's kind of a more positive note with all of this going on, especially within the service dog community. We don't need to be at each other's throats like this. We don't need to be attacking each other. There's better things to do with our life. If you have a service dog and you're doing this, get off the computer. Go take your dog for a walk. Go play with it. Go teach it something new. Don't just sit there on the computer. Oh my God. Did you see what Mary Sue put on our dog? I can't believe that vest does not look professional. What is she thinking? She's thinking the same thing that a lot of wheelchair people do. I was in a wheelchair for years, and I decorated the hell out of that thing. Why? Because it made me more comfortable. And your concern shouldn't be what makes another person comfortable to work their dog. And that's another top thing is equipment and gear, and oh my God, people like to go on off about that. Also ethics. Some of the ethic groups, I joined one, and I know she's probably going to see this, and she's probably going to think, what the hell, Aurora, why are you talking about this? But she asked me to join because she was thinking, well, you know, she's got a nice level head and everything else. I think you'll enjoy this group. And that's when I saw the group turn on a blind woman because she was using speech to text. Now, this woman, after I talked to her privately, she's the friendliest, sweetest. Oh my God, she's on my friends list now. I absolutely adore this woman. She is such a doll. None of them even got to find that out because they immediately went to the fact that she was using a card that she got from the Seeing Eye School. Most service dog handlers don't know even the way things are handled with Seeing Eye. And I tried to explain that, hey, this is a learning opportunity, you know, because she was like, well, people are getting mad at me for using this card. I'm like, well, then why don't you use it as a learning opportunity? Use it and hand it to the person and say, by the way, you asking for this card is illegal. It says so on the back. Could you please read that while you're holding onto the card? You know, use it as an education thing and actually explain that, you know, even though a lot of Seeing Eye schools hand out the cards, that there is no actual registration for any service dogs. And you could actually be helping the community by doing that because they're going to get it stuck in their head while they're holding this card that was illegal. It says so right on the back. I could get fined. I could get into big trouble for this. Nobody wanted to hear that response. Everybody wanted this woman who was very insecure at the moment, who's going through a lot on her own. I'm not bringing up names because I don't want her getting attacked. And I know the way this community is. But who's having all these issues, having all these problems, and they just attack her. They're calling her idiot and everything else, talking to her like she's stupid. And it's like, no. Guys, this is somebody who came actually looking for help. And everybody attacked. And this was in an ethics group that deals with service dogs. Specifically ethics. You lose ethics and you lose the common good when the ones the ethics are discussed about no longer benefit from the ethics. For it to be truly ethical, it needs to be helping both sides. And in regards to service dogs, that means that helping the owner of the dog and the public. It can't be just one side. There's a lot of opinions going on in the group, but not a lot of ethics. And that's kind of sad. That's kind of upsetting for me just because that's not who I am. But, you know, everybody else is different. So, yeah, naturalhealthycbd.com. At the checkout, use the code CODA10, KODA10, to get 10% off of your order. Awesome customer service. Love these guys. They are fantastic. I've actually got surprises that the owner doesn't know about that are going to be coming up. So it'll be interesting for her to see those when it happens. I'm going to be really interested. I hope she lets me know what her opinion is. I don't want to say anything too much on that here because then it wouldn't be a surprise. Her knowing a surprise is coming is fine. Just knowing what the surprise is isn't. Again, let's all just try to be decent to each other, even if it's just for one day. Make a goal of that. One day, don't be a jackass. For one day. That's not too much to ask. That's 24 hours. And you're not even awake that whole 24 hours, so, you know, at least 8 of it should be easy. unless you're a tosser or turner like me and you beat people up in your sleep. Okay, being a jackass while you're sleeping, we can overlook that. But during your waking periods, in that 24 hours, you know, try to be nice. Somebody you would normally hate on, ask them, how's your day going? Something like that. You know, try to understand somebody else from their point of view and try to understand what it is they're going through. Service Dog Free Press, you guys are being assholes. You don't need to be taking any little thing and saying because it doesn't fit into my cookie cutter, it's not a service dog. Service dogs are only this breed, or the service dog should only wear this type of equipment. Tell that to a little kid who decorates the wheelchair and puts streamers on the back of it. Because a service dog is living medical equipment. And it is easier for some people to have the, you know, vests that are kind of funny and stuff like that. Shitlist. Until the moderators actually get control of the group and stop allowing the people in there that use it to harass other people, it's not going to get better. I don't think that the free press is going to get better either. Because, like I said, I've got veterans in my family, and none of them would act like that. Not in a million years. So if this guy is willing to do that, he obviously has some sort of deep mental thing that's going on, some sort of issue that's keeping him from even giving a shit about anybody other than himself. Other than that, I hope everybody just has a good night. I know I'm doing this at, oh God, it's 2 a.m. Wow, it's already 2 a.m. Yeah, I should really get off of here. I'm going to try to do more of these lives more frequently in the future. My schedule gets so wonky. Sometimes I have problems with that. Some of them might start because I forget to hook this damn thing up without audio, but give it a second. As soon as I realize my bar isn't moving, I'll get the audio up and running. Other than that, yeah. Everybody, you have a great night. If you're watching this and you have a service dog, give them a hug. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to see more. And I'll just keep sharing. Because like I said, I'm not worried about other people deciding to have issues with me. I just really don't care anymore. I've learned to be just perfectly happy and at peace with who I am. All right.